Hey guys, it's the Fading Fire, and here we go with another build analysis in Dark Souls 3. This time we're going to talk about magic and PvP, 1v1 situations. At first, my initial thought of magic in 1v1s is that it's not very good. But I think that was maybe a little preemptive. You know, I just went off of what everybody else was saying, and I barely tried it for myself, and I came with the conclusion that it wasn't good. But I started testing it more and tried to mix up things that, you know, I would think that would make it more viable. And after a whole bunch of losses, some wins started coming my way. And I started doing things that seemed successful, and I started to get more success out of magic. Actually, I was quite surprised by the success that I had with the spells and the whole mix-ups. So we're just going to talk about some of the strategies that I use to try to make it successful in duels. This guy lagged out of control there. I don't know what happened, but things have changed with magic in Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 1, magic consists of dark bead and pursuers, and you just walk around with that all day and kind of one-shot people. Dark Souls 2, I think Dark Souls 2 did a great job with magic. They had a humongous variety of spells. The investment you had to sacrifice to get damage out of the spells, and you could use a lot of mix-ups to make yourself viable with spells in Dark Souls 2. So I think Dark Souls 2 did a great job with spells, except some spells are kind of broken. Dark Souls 3, the variety of spells is not so great, but the spells that are in the game are pretty fun to use, and they can offer a wide variety of things you can do to make you outwit or outmatch your opponent. One thing that I found magic does in 1v1 situations for you is that it will make your opponent be predictable. Just as you saw, I got that parry right there if you guys want to rewind it. But when you're shooting magic at people, many people seem to get frustrated, and you can tell by the way they start to act with the things that they throw out. So they'll start running in either direction and rushing you down with a running attack or a run to a roll attack, and these attacks are easily parryable. So it can make your opponent do predictable things either through frustration, or it will make them kind of just run into the magic. Because as you can see, I'm using all crystal spells, so everything that comes out my staff looks the exact same. So some people get mixed up in whether I'm throwing out a crystal home and soul mass or a white dragon breath or a soul spear, and they'll think I'm throwing out a crystal homing soul mass, and they'll run into a soul spear and it'll hit them for a lot of damage. And this is just little different ways in which you can rack up a lot of damage that will eventually win you the fight. But I think that magic, if used in a way that you don't expect to hit everything, but expect to control your opponent in a way that you make them move the way you want with the spells you throw out. So when you throw your soul spear, they roll a certain way, and you see they're rolling to the right. Okay, they're rolling to the right a lot. So you throw white dragon breath, and while you're casting the spell, they'll roll. You throw white dragon breath to the right, and they'll get hit by it. And you just have to see the patterns that your opponent does during all this. So I'm just starting to think, with some of the testing and a lot of PvP that I've been doing with Magic, that PvP is Magic and PvP is not all so bad. It's actually quite viable, in my opinion, because the damage that you can put out with Magic is great, and there's some cool things you can do to rack up even more, such as if you hit someone with Crystal Home and Soul Mass and you're close enough, you can stun lock them with your sword. And I think I'll kind of show that in another video. But I think Magic is getting to a point where people are starting to underestimate it, and now is the time to take advantage of that and to show people that Magic isn't so bad after all. But this video is getting kind of long, so I will be making a part 2 of this video. I think I'll name it somewhere around the lines of Magic ain't so bad or something around there. But stick around for part 2, guys. We'll be talking about more Magic and 1v1s. Until then, see you next time, guys.